In this video, we're going to take a look at more adjectives, but this time we're going to use the verb estar. This is the first thing that as English speakers we come across in Spanish that is really confusing for us and frustrating, is that estar and ser mean the same thing. They mean to be. So when you say estoy, I am, that's the same as soy, I am. When you ask a question, estás, like como estás, you're saying you are, just like eres. And then when you're talking about a third person, como está, you're saying he or she is, just like es. But these verbs are going to be used in two very different ways. For example, with ser, we're going to use soy, eres, and es. These are going to be for permanent things. So if I say soy feliz, meaning I'm happy, I'm saying that I'm a happy person. This is part of my personality. This is just never going away. But if I say it with a star, and I say estoy feliz, I mean in this moment. It's something that I'm expecting to change or something that has to change. It's going to be a temporary condition, feeling, emotion. And that's the difference between these two. So we're going to take a look at some adjectives. These are not exclusive to estar, just like the ones we saw with ser. You can actually use these adjectives with either ser or estar, and I'll show you some examples. And it's just going to depend on what you're trying to communicate, because both can be grammatically correct, but they're going to mean very different things. So let's go over first our adjectives. Enfermo. Now this ends in an O, so we know this is going to have two forms. It's going to be enferma for a female. Loco, which means crazy. Loca. Sorprendido, which is surprised. Enojado. There's our J that has the H sound again. Enojado. Orgulloso. We're going to have the Y sound with a double L. Orgulloso. Triste. Motivado. And embarazada. A lot of people see this word and it looks like embarrassed. It sounds like embarrassed, but it actually means pregnant. So most of these, as you can see, have the O ending, and they're going to have two versions, with the exception of triste, which ends in an E. And embarazada is a very special case because only a woman can get pregnant. So this is always going to end in an A. And this is something that you cannot use with ser, because a pregnancy, even though it lasts for a long time, it lasts for 10 months, it has to end. So this is a special case that I like to show just for that reason. It's always going to be female and it's always going to be temporary, whereas the rest of them can go either way. So let's take a look at the pictures, and we're going to describe the people in the pictures. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's take a look at number 1. ¿Cómo está ella? So you can take a look at the picture and you can decide how you think she is in this moment. I think she could be proud or possibly motivated, but I want to make sure either one that I use Ella está, she is. Don't forget your accent over the A. Orgullosa. I'm going to make sure that I'm using the A ending if I have to change it. Número dos, ¿cómo está él? Hopefully you've guessed él está enfermo. And this is going to be one that you can say in two different ways. And I'll give you the example of this one. If I say soy enferma, I'm using ser. It's supposed to be permanent. This is going to imply that I have some type of disease or illness that's not going away. It could be cancer, it could be a mental illness, but for whatever reason, it has no cure and I'm always going to be sick. But if I say estoy enferma, that means that I'm expecting this to be temporary. Hopefully it's going to get better. Something like the flu or a stomach bug. So I'd like for you to go ahead and finish the pictures and then do the activity below. So I'd like for you to write estoy and pick some adjectives that fit for right now, how you feel in this moment, and then soy and pick some adjectives for your general personality. Now, you don't have to use the ones that we saw in the videos. In fact, I like it even more if you would find ones that honestly describe yourself. Just make sure that you're paying attention to the rules and if there's one or two forms.